You can do it, buddy. You got it. I need uno más. Uno más. Uno más, amiga or amigo.
Hey, if y'all don't volunteer, we're gonna start picking.
Hey, there you go. I'm gonna give it up to them.
Hello community, my name is Brendan Howman from Project Lead of Texas A&M University. I am here because I clearly stated I am testifying for HB 375. I think people should protect our families a bit more with their firearms if only provided by police or any causes on streets, homes, neighborhoods, banks, things that need to be more protected by those who committed by the police department. I think we should all fight for the rights to defend America a little bit more, and thank you for your time.
I mean, thank you for your speech. We should be thanking you for that first. You were definitely opinionated, which is a good thing, and I think we can all appreciate the fact that you obviously want to make this country a better place. You know, you are being an upstanding citizen by speaking your voice, and you know, I can respect anyone for doing that in the first place, so thank you.
I thank you for that too.
I really liked your argument. I also like that you brought in the police, and we haven't heard that about this before, so I thought that was really good and really neat. And I appreciate hearing kind of a different turn on it as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are basically two types of speeches that I hear that are very effective. They're the people who come in with a very long testimony that brings in statistics and emotion and really gives you every piece of evidence they have, or they're the people who keep it short and sweet, let you know exactly how they feel, why they feel it, and make sure that you hear them. And that yours was the second type, and it was very effective. I appreciate you coming here and telling us how you feel on the issue, because if you don't do that, we'll never know, right? We'll might vote against you. You know? We appreciate you coming to talk to us today.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amber Gutierrez. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm against HB 375 because why would you give people a handgun? Like, yes, they might have a permit, but you don't know if they have been charged by having a gun. Some people don't know how to use a handgun. My opinion is that before you give someone a handgun, Texas should do a better job of checking their record because you never know what they are going to do with the handgun. I understand that some bad people will want to use guns to break into cars and houses, and that it is good to have good people with guns to help stop this. But we need to make sure that the people buying guns are really good people. There's so many people that have been dead because of some people that have guns just to do violence or just to kill people. There was this one time I was watching the news and a guy shot a 89-year-old man. He shot him because of a woman. But he was live on Facebook while he did that. I think that was bad because why would you shoot someone on live where everyone could see and watch what you did to someone? But other than that, I still think you shouldn't let anyone get a gun because of what I explained here. Thanks for your time.
Well, thank you. You did a really good job of laying out exactly why you felt how you felt it. You brought in evidence and you brought in a counter argument. You explained why people might think the other way and then came back to your argument again, and that makes it even stronger. You blew down your critics, basically. It was excellent. Thank you.
I liked also how you used a recent event, a live Facebook event. That was a huge phenomenon that happened in America, and that really strengthened your argument, I think. Also, I like that you mentioned the fact that some people don't know how to use a handgun. I haven't heard that so far, so I really like that you added that in. That's a really important point.
I can appreciate the fact that you went for the root of the issue. You weren't, say I was a doctor, I would not say you were attacking the symptoms, I would say you were attacking the sickness itself. And by trying to address the root problem, which is the wrong people acquire firearms, then in turn that can help both sides of the party. So I don't know if that was your intent, but from the speech I heard, it was that you want to benefit both sides by limiting access to firearms. And in turn, that really helps everybody. So I can understand where you're coming from, and it was definitely concise. I can also understand that, you had attention getter, you went for it, and then once you made your point, you didn't draw it on. It was very good.
Hello, I'm Vito Ramirez, and I am with this Leadership Employment and Advocacy Project. This is the bill I am testifying for, Senate Bill number 602. I disagree with institutions because I have a disability, and I know many with a disability that aren't in an institution, because they're not threatening themselves or against anybody. So there shouldn't be any institution, because the Bill of Rights states that we all have freedom of speech, religion, press, petition, and assembly. Another reason I have is that the delivering services to a person for a year in an SSLC costs about $113,000 more than serving that person in an equivalent program in the community. Instead of staying in an institution, it's better being in the community, because there are a lot of supporters for us, which are nurses, doctors, therapists, the ARC, and adult daycares that help all of us do the right things and feel more free in the community. Thank you for your time.
Again, thank you. I can appreciate the fact that you reference the national government. If anything, it reminds us that we are still held accountable to someone, and that we are not the all-powerful, force that we sometimes think ourselves to be. And you also came in, you did your research, you came in with facts, with numbers, and it was just a very well presented, thought out, and presented argument.
I appreciate as well that you mentioned the Bill of Rights. I think that strengthened your argument a lot. I also really like that you did add numbers, because a lot of times when you are at a real community hearing, people would be like, does it have a fiscal note? Is there any fiscal impact? And that made your argument so strong, the fact that you added real life numbers. So I think you did a great job.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know this, but the most effective way to kill a bill in Texas is to say that you have to spend money on it. And you threw some numbers at us, and that was impressive. But overall, just your entire thing, you laid out like 2 or 3 very solid points of evidence while keeping your delivery strong, and laid out exactly how you felt on the issue. Even if I knew nothing about the issue coming in, I would be inclined to agree with you almost immediately after hearing that. It was impressive. Thank you.
Good job. Man, every group just out of the park. You guys are hitting it out of the park. Who's ready to hit it out of the park? Come on, man.
These kids know more about most of
Come on down. I need dos más. You're ready. You're ready right here. I can tell. Come on.
Hey, we warned y'all.
Oh, there you go. I was wondering where you were coming. You looking all sharp dressed.
Let's go, girl. Come on. Come on. We can do this. Yes. Do this. Come on.
Nice. This is my go-getter right here. He's gonna hook them all up here.
Good afternoon. My name is Alexander Gomez. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm here with Project LEAP. Today I'll be testifying for SB number 602 for the SSLC. I believe that we don't need places like this. The SSLC is treating people not right. Like they're getting forced, or they don't want to be forced to go into these places that are mistreating them. So they're abusing them, neglecting them, or exploitational. Some people think it's good while others think it's so much. The SSLC is using their money, our money, for nothing, and we won't be receiving it. We could rethink, take a step back and rethink about what we're going to use that money for. We could use that money for the intellectual or development of disability, the IDDD. We could use it for the DADS, the Department of Aging and Disability Services. We could use this money for something better than towards the SSLC. They can use that money for something better than putting it towards the SSLC. Most of these lives that end up in the SSLC receive no respect at all than an elderly person in a nursing home. People think it's safe haven for the people with IDDD. I don't think it's not. Why would people put either their loved one or anyone in general in this kind of place? Yes, they can get help and help their guardian, but they're revoking their freedom to see what another person can do. So yes, I'm for it, because it's not right to live a life in a place where they won't achieve big. It's best to see what everyone else can do in their free time. They can achieve more, and even if with their disability, they can still manage to do greater things in life. So thank you, that's all the time I have.
Well, if you have to ask, should I go first, that means you want to go first. And you started off with a bang. Like, there was a lot of energy and charisma, and that, it pulled me in right there. And once you pulled me in, you were able to keep my attention. You definitely were into that, and that's something I wish more presentations, revolved around, because I can tell you we've probably all been in, like, say a classroom with a teacher that just kind of draws on, and just, you lose your attention, you zone out. That's not possible with your speech. So thank you.
Thank you.
I agree. You're very happy and upbeat, and it seemed like you really enjoyed what you're talking about, and it made us enjoy listening to you. So that was, first off the bat, is really a positive. I also like that you gave different options, like we could do this instead, or we could do this program instead. I think that gave great alternatives to your argument, and it strengthened it, because people were like, okay, so if this doesn't pass, then maybe we can do this, and I think that really helped.
What made your speech especially compelling, I think, is what she was just talking about, where you were like, okay, here's how we're investing the money now. That's not a good use of our resources. Most people will stop there, and then the question is, should we do it or not? And you went a step past that. You were like, okay, instead of doing that, we could do this instead, or we could do another thing. You gave us options. And when you do that, you make it less of a question of whether or not we should devote resources, and more of, are we devoting them in a responsible or a smart way? And doing that is a very smart way to get attention and to get people to agree with you on a bill, because you're providing them alternatives. You're doing the work for them effectively. That was excellent. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Bosmer from Project Wave at Texas A&M. I am here today to talk about the House Bill 375. I am testifying against the bill because I think it is important for people to know the responsibilities and consequences of using a gun. In my NRA sessions, we are taught about how to safely use a gun. We are also taught the dangers of a gun and the responsibilities of a gun. And we are taught everything else important about guns. I also have some concerns about people's safety for this bill. I think someone who has no experience with a gun could get someone really hurt, or even worse, killed. I know you can only make one choice, but whatever choice you make, I will still follow the law no matter what. Thank you for your time.
Thank Thank you. I really appreciate that you brought in something that you have experience with. You talked about specifically what the NRA teaches you in gun safety classes, and it's really great when you can bring in something that, for example, I imagine that not all of the legislators on a committee like this would know. So you brought in your own expertise to back up your argument, and it was really effective. Thank you.
I agree. You definitely seemed like you knew a lot about this topic, and I could really understand what you were saying as well, and I think you made a very compelling argument. Also, I like your kind of last statement that no matter what's going to happen, I will still respect the law. I thought that was really smart, and I think it made your argument more effective, because it was like, okay, I don't think this is right, but I will still follow what the end result is. So I really like that part.
Thank you.
You brought up the issue of safety measures when using firearms. That is very important, and small mistakes that people would often overlook could be could have grave consequences. We'll go with that. And you addressed that. You brought it to light. Not everyone might know that how to properly to clean your weapon so it doesn't malfunction, put it on safety when you're not using it, not have rounds in the chamber when you're not using it, and to always point it down range. Not everyone might know that. I mean, sure, to some people it might seem like common sense, but you reminded us that it's an issue that just because you understand it and you can follow proper safety measures doesn't mean everyone else can. Like McKenna over here said, I appreciate the last statement. It basically says that you'll follow the law, and regardless of your opinion on it, you'll still do what's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Janice Reese. I'm going to be talking about Bill number 602. Bill number 602 is all about SSLC. What's wrong with the institutions? Institutions cannot begin to have the potential of the individuals to learn, participate, and contribute to their communities. People that are in the institution are isolated from family, friends, and communities. Also, the institutions create a high risk for abuse and neglect. The experience of the past has shown that no one needs to be taken or put in an institution just because of a disability. Those who require support or specialized care have a better quality of life when they receive care and support in their home and community, rather than an institution. Thank you for your time.
It's important that you brought up the neglect that people sometimes face when being put in institutions. And to remind us of our history is very important, because those who do not obviously follow history are doomed to repeat it. We can look in our past and we can see that, hey, this wasn't effective back then, why would it be effective now? What's different about it? But to make this about the people and not about the institutions themselves was a very good call and a very, very important move. Thank you.
I also like that you brought up the past. I think that was very compelling to your argument. I also really liked how you asked a rhetorical question, like, what are these issues, and you answered it. I thought that was a really good way of organizing your argument. And lastly, you just showed the realities of institutions, and I think you did a really good job of making it short and simple, but really just effectively saying, okay, this was really what goes on in institutions. You did a good job. Thank you.
I really liked your speech because you got to your point pretty quickly. You set it up very well. You got to your point very quickly, and then you backed it up, and you delivered it well. If you do those things, then people are going to listen to you, and people are going to agree with you. And it's the easiest way to make a really compelling speech. You did that. So thank you.
Good job, crew.
I just want to know, how much time did they have to prepare for this?
They had one day. Well, we did a little bit of a training, but they wrote their testimony, developed their testimony, practiced it in one day.
That's pretty.
Y'all have better
impressive, huh?
speeches than some professionals.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm pretty
I'm
convinced
pretty
that y'all
proud
might
of our
be
crew.
professionals.
I hope you come back in July too. There'll be another round of these guys coming through July. We'd love to have you. All right. Now I'm getting down to my. Now I'm getting down to the ones that aren't really sure.
So this wants to go down.
But you saw your friends up there. They did it. You can do it too. Come on. Come on.
Y'all don't think we're mean now, do you?
No! Do you think they're mean?
because it's hurting my feelings that you're not up here talking to me. I think you should come up here.
Don't hurt his feelings. You ready? Joey, you ready? Come on. I got one. I need two more. Dos más. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on.
I'm ready, I'm ready.
Come on now. The water's fine.
You can do it.
Sarah! Sarah's coming too. I'm putting Sarah. So you want to sit up next to Joanne? The three? Well, you can come. You can
Oh,
sit.
make it
okay,
four.
We'll wait. We'll wait.
The more the merrier.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shania Robinson. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm here with the LEAP program. I am for the SSLC Bill 602 because a lot of bad stuff happened in the institution. For example, sexual abuse, physical and mental abuse. They can get better support at home. Sunset Advisory Commission state that one of the most persistent issues surrounding the quality of care at SSLC is an abuse, neglect, and exploitation of residents. Personally, I would not want to be in there because my brother went to one for a week and I feel bad he had to go for something foolish. He had a horrible experience. Thank you for listening. I hope I have made a good impact on you all.
Thank you. That was great. You quoted a state agency, which is pretty irrefutable from our perspective. Then you brought in your own personal experience, and when you do those two things together, you create an argument that's almost impossible for us to argue against. So I thought that was tremendous. Thank you.
You mentioned the advisory committee, and I don't even think every testimony person in real committees actually even knows what that is. So that was an excellent job. As well as you mentioned your brother, and I think that really set home and really finished your argument really effectively. And at the end of it, I really saw your point of view, and I really just like that you added that personal antidote at the end. It was really great.
I think your last line might have been the most important when you said, I hope that I made an impact. It's the role of the citizen to hold the government accountable. And by being up here, by speaking your mind, by speaking what you believe to be true, you're doing just that. So, regardless of whether y'all have different opinions on this goes to all of y'all too. You guys being up here is making a difference. And you guys need to know that, by letting your voice be heard, you can actually initiate change. So thank you, and I think you did a very good job.
Thank you.
Are you okay?
Oh my gosh. Hi.
Hello.
You got this. You got this.
Deep breath.
You got this. Okay. I need to put this on. Okay. Hi, my name is Shanice Robinson. I'm from Houston, Texas with the Project LEAP. I'm here to testify for SB 602. I am for the bill because everybody should have a chance to a normal life. Happy life, independent life. There are plenty of opportunities for people with disabilities in the community. My study said majority of our people said people with disabilities prefer to be in a community setting. Not in a place where they get treated like a piece of crap. Everybody has some type of disability. It's just not as bad as others. Just ask yourself, how would you feel if you was in our shoes or in their shoes? I'm
Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys.
Well, you were very blunt, to put it mild. You know, you didn't sugarcoat or mince your words, and that's important. You didn't try to appease. You were direct and to the point. And by putting us in the spot, by making us think, and by making us, question your perspective, that would really, shake someone's confidence in their own abilities and their own thoughts in the matter. So thank you.
Thank you.
I think also by being blunt, it's very effective because it makes people listen. And also the fact that you're laughing and kind of having fun, also that's perfectly, that's good. No, that's fine because we listen. I mean, it's better than someone being like, we really do listen when you have a little bit of humor and it's not so just black and white. I'm sorry. So I did like that. I mean, you're fine. It's perfectly normal to be a little nervous. So don't be embarrassed at all. Also, I like that you mentioned the community setting as well. I think that was really important. I haven't heard that argument yet. And I thought that really helped your argument as well.
Thank you.
You had no reason to be nervous. You did something very difficult just now. You set up this very emotionally complex issue, this thing that we're very serious about, and then you made me laugh. And that's difficult to do. And just overall, your testimony was really compelling. It was very human. It made me empathize, and it would have made me question my beliefs if I disagreed with you on the issue, like he said. So this was great. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, my name is Joanna, and
I want everyone to hear you.
Hi, my name is Joanna, and I am with the lead program. I support SB 602. I don't want to wait 12 to 15 years for service in my community. Supreme Court decision almost there versus LC. State person can benefit from the community and confront them to miss family relation. Thank you for your time.
The one branch of the federal government that all Texas legislators seem to appreciate is the Supreme Court. And I think it's very compelling that you came in and you brought in a Supreme Court opinion to back that up because of how nonpartisan they're supposed to be. It makes it very difficult for anyone to say she's wrong. And that's very impressive. I appreciate your testimony. Thank you.
I agree. Bringing in the courts is such a nonpartisan view, so that really strengthens your argument when you can make it nonpartisan. Also, I really like that you put a realistic time frame on it, and that at the very beginning as well. So I really liked that part of it. I thought it was really good.
You somehow, had a heartfelt and yet factual speech, and that's something that's pretty rare. And I'm not even sure if I'm always capable of doing that. So the fact that you did it and it was so impromptu, and that you reminded us of the humanity behind it was very important. Thank you.
Good job, guys. Yoop, yoop. Boop, boop. Alright, getting down to the wire here. Getting down to the wire here.
Who hasn't Sarah hasn't come up.
No clapping. No clapping for Sarah. That's fair.
Awesome.
Jazz hands, guys. We'll jazz hand it for Sarah. Hey, Sarah needs a wing lady. Who's going to be her wing lady? Come on, girls. There's a couple girls over here that I know.
Jacqueline.
Go, Jackie. I'll go with her.
Sarah.
I'll go with her.
You want a friend to go with you? Will that help? You don't know? You can do it. Come on.
Sarah.